Hello everybody, welcome to Shildon AFC TV on YouTube. I'm Wolf Tree, you all know me. I'm sat here with Dave Bowley from Warrington. I've never done this before, so be patient with me. I'm going to put some pressure on Dave because he's a bit of a professional. He sat here laughing at me like that.
It's less about, thank you very much for that, Wilf, it's a lovely introduction. It's less about you and me though, and it's more about what's going to go on the pitch today. A really big game in preparation today. Cracking conditions, great ground, great pitch. Two very good teams look very up for this today. Should be a big game for us.
Yeah, it's cricketing weather, Dave, isn't it?
It certainly is, yeah.
Can play 20 overs a side here, isn't it?
You could indeed. You could play golf in your shorts in this weather.
Players still warming up on the pitch at the minute. It is 12 minutes to kick off.
Yeah, and they just look like they're heading inside now to get their final instructions from the respective managers. So Dave McNabb and Daniel Moore will be playing their final chess pieces, if you like, before the whistle goes.
They'll be out bright and early. Just what's happened recently, we've got a minute's silence for Prince Philip and for Edith Airsbit, who died last week. There might, like I say, I've never done this before, so there might be one or two awkward silences when Dave will bail me out. He sat here laughing.
I'll try, Wilf. I'll try. I might be causing the awkward silences, so if that's the case, then we'll have to just bail each other out. But we'll work this between us. It's
not like radio where we have to explain everything, because you can see what's happening. So probably just call players a few names for missing an easy chance or something like that, you know.
I think that's pretty standard. Red v blue. Our job's done, Wilf.
Yeah.
I think all we need to do now is introduce the teams, and then we can get through the action.
Right, the Shildon team today: in goal, Sean Newbrook. Right back, Aidan Haywood. Matty Robson left back. Bobby Moore, Jack Volks. David Palmer, Joe Postel, Ben Trotter, Dean Thexton, Michael Sweet and Kurt Matthews. The substitutes: Danny Craggs, Jordan Lavery, Billy Growlich Smith, who's got red hair today, might I add. Never seen him do that before, but he's got his hair's
a cracking shade of red, that as well.
His hair's Shildon red, yeah. Craig Moody and Matty Bateman. And I'll let Dave tell you the Warrington team.
So the Warrington Rylands team for today: in goal, Graham McCall, who's the captain today. The right back is Callum Lees, left back is Jack Tinning. In the centre of defence, it's Richard Smith and Joe Denman. In midfield, Warren Gerrard takes place alongside Charlie Doyle and Andrew Scarisbrick. And in the forward line, Stephen Milne, Connor Reddy and Elliot Morris line up for Warrington Rylands today. The substitutes for Warrington Rylands: Gary Kenny at number 12, the club captain; Michael Emery, the sub-goalkeeper, at number 13, and Tom Freeman, 14, Sam Sheen, Joe Coveney, Paul Shanley and club legend Freddie Potter will be on the bench today for the Blues. And just getting ready now for obviously, as we say, we're going to have a minute's silence just before the game kicks off. And I imagine the players are just getting their final instructions from the management.
I've just got some lunatic friends who know I'm doing this today, and they're ringing me up so they know that my phone will ring on the television.
Turn it off.
I would switch it off.
I can give you, Wilf.
I would switch it off, but I've got the timer in it.
Well, this should be what looks to be in prospect, Wilf, a very even game today. Two teams who appear to be making the same kind of progress in their respective leagues.
Who have you played in the last couple of rounds, Dave? Can you tell us about it?
So we've played against Daisy Hill. We started against Daisy Hill. We've played against Jarrow, and we've also played Longridge Town, who we have a long-standing rivalry with in the North West Counties League. So we're familiar with Longridge Town. We always have very very close encounters with Longridge. It's always a great game when we play against Longridge, to be honest. But we've had, I was saying to you, this is now our third trip to the North East in FA competitions this season. We've been to yourselves, to Jarrow, and then, albeit sort of North Yorkshire, we've been to Whitby as well in the FA Cup. So it's
close games the others, weren't they? You beat Jarrow. It was a tight game, wasn't it?
It was a tight game. I think it was 2-1 in the end. I wasn't at the game myself. I wasn't able to go that day. But I believe it was a tight game. Whitby was a very, very tight game. We a goal up there against the team 2 or 3 leagues ahead of us, and they equalised in literally the last second. Took it to penalties, and an absolute nail-biting penalty shootout took place.
That's sort of bad. I mean, go to a penalty shootout against Whitby. How many leagues higher than you were there?
I think, to be honest, and I said this after the event, I think had we lost that penalty shootout, I'd have still walked away from that immensely proud of this group of players, because of that's a great thing to achieve.
Every right to.
And I think, in the FA Cup, I think also we beat Whitby. We also beat Clitheroe, who are a league above us, and then we were eventually knocked out by York City. But it was a 1-0 defeat, and it was a very close game. And to be honest, we will always argue that we had chances to get back in that game.
To be fair, that's some performance as well when you're losing to York 1-0.
I think we ran them very, very close, and York's manager Steve Watson, you'll know from his time at Newcastle.
I do, yeah.
Steve Watson said that was one of the toughest games that he'd ever led a team into.
I know they're a couple of leagues below league standard now, York, but I still look at them as a big club. They're a league team to me.
I think they're a league team in waiting, aren't they? They're going back to that status, and I think they will go back to that status. They're a very professionally set up outfit. We saw that when they came to us, and nothing but respect for the way that York set up and committed themselves. But I think again that speaks volumes for this team in terms of the way that York did set up and commit themselves, and the way that Warrington Rylands really pushed them all the very way to the limit. And as I say, I think that from what I've seen on paper, it looks very much like the two sides are doing similar things from a league standpoint in their respective leagues. So do you want to tell us a little bit about Shildon's journey so far?
I don't know. I think it was an extra preliminary round we started in Chesley Street here from our second division, and we beat them 2-1. We were quite lucky, really. We won with a penalty.
One of my favourite footballers comes from Chesley Street, Wilf.
Brian Robson.
Yeah.
Yeah, we beat them with a penalty, and I was stood behind the goal, and it wasn't a penalty, so we were quite lucky. That second round we were away at Sunderland RCA. We were 2-0 down at half time. 2-0 down at half time. We beat them 3-2. I hope I haven't missed anybody out here, but we went away to Bootle in Liverpool, 1-2-0, and we played at Hallam in Yorkshire, on the oldest ground in the world. We beat them 2-0, and then we had a bit of a local affair. We went away to Stockton, beat them 3-1. Very, very good side. Stockton reached the final a couple of years ago.
But you have a former Vase winner in Bobby Moore at the helm of the club.
Yeah, the player manager Bobby Moore he didn't play that day, but when Spennymoor won it, he had a broken leg. But Spennymoor was captain. I think he still went up and lifted the cup with his pot on up the Wembley steps.
You should point out his name's not actually Bobby, his name's Daniel, but he is affectionately known in these parts as Bobby because of his influence on the team and his position on the pitch. He plays the same position Bobby Moore did. Is that correct? The team's just taken to the field now.
It's coming out now, so separately the way the world is at the moment.
This afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, Warrington Rylands.
Just leave you with DJ Deno's announcing the teams there.
Number 1 is Graham McCall, captain. Number 2 is Callum Lees. Number 3, Jack Tinning. Number 4, Richard Smith. 5, Joseph Denham. Number 6 is Warren Gerard. 7, Charlie Doyle. 8, Andrew Spillers Rick. Number 9 is Stephen Milne. Number 10, Connor Lennon. Elliot Morris is number 11. Your substitutes this afternoon: for Warrington Rylands. At number 12 is Gary Kelly. Number 13, Michael Emery. Number 14, Thomas Freeman. Number 15, Sam Sheen. Number 16, Joseph Cosley. Number 17, Paul Shenley. And number 18 is Freddie Potter. And for sure those out there, let's hear it for sure lads. Number 1, it's Sean Albert in goal. Number 2, Aidan Hayward. 3, Matty Robson. 4, Daniel Moore. Number 5, Jack Folks. David Palmer is number 6. Joe Poston is number 7. Ben Trotter, captain, is number 8. Dean Thexton is 9, Michael Sweet is number 10, Kurt Matthews is number 11. Substitutes for Shildon this afternoon: 14, Daniel Craggs, Jordan Lavery is 15, Billy Greenwood Smith on the substitutes bench, number 16, Craig Moody 17, Matthew Bateman is number 18. Your referee this afternoon is Glenn Hart. Your assistants are Joshua Gordon and also Barry Brooks. The fourth official is Matthew Walton, and your match sponsors this afternoon are Creed Capital.
Nice to see the two captains changing pennants there. You don't see much of that these days,
It's almost a
Shildon AFC, together with the wider football community, would like to pay tribute to His Royal Highness, the Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. As a football club, Shildon AFC would also like to pay tribute to Edith Aisbit, who passed away last weekend. Edith was married to Bill, a long-standing chairman of Shildon AFC, who quickly enrolled her as a tea lady and caterer. Edith was later joined by her good friend Joe Clarkson, and after 70 combined years of kettles and catering, the tea ladies and the Royal Women's reputation for hospitality was unrivalled. Edith was also a lifelong committee member of the Social Club. Their dedication was rewarded when in 1996 they were winners of the Northern League's annual competition for unsung heroes. Bill passed away in 2003, quickly followed by Joan in 2004. May they all rest in peace. There now follows a minute silence, which will be signified by the referee's whistle.
Perfect with your observed minute silence there. It was only spoiled by some people outside the ground who obviously didn't know what was happening. You'd hear some people talking.
I think everybody immediately glances round and then realises those people are not in the ground. And the accusatory faces immediately dissipate and go away. But this should be a cracking game, Wolf. I'm looking forward to this today. Rylands are going to kick us off.
Ben Trotter obviously won the toss today as the Rylands keeper's got the sun in his eyes. He never ever win the toss there. Our keeper's always down that side first half with the sun in his eyes.
So tell me a bit about Ben Trotter, Wolf, and his influence on the team.
Ben Trotter, it's I do the Twitter feed, and it's just standard Twitter every single game. Yellow card for Ben Trotter. Gets one every game. 5 yellow cards in the suspension, 10 yellow cards in the suspension. But breaks things up, Ben. Puts some work in. Good tackler. Doesn't give people a minute on the ball. Team captain, the only Shildon lad in the squad, and he's team captain.
But there's a big belief on promoting youth in this side, isn't there? There's a couple of 17-year-olds I noticed in the squad on the way up here. Dominic Curl, who can't play today, unfortunately, he's only 2021, and it's a very
made his debut at 16, done.
Yeah, so there's a belief in promoting young players here, isn't there?
So your lads look very young as well, Dave.
We're also quite a youthful squad. As the cross comes in there, cross came in from Sweet. It was headed on towards goal by Dean Thexton, but McCall watched it wide. We're also quite a young squad. I think the average age, about a year or so ago, I think the average age was about 23, something like that. I'm not sure what it is now. I wouldn't like to hang my hat on that for definite, but it will be around that sort of age.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you what our average age is like. It's down there. I mean, Bobby Moore boasted up a bit, as does Matty Robson. You take them to it, it'll be very young.
One in the air. Kurt Matthews beating Elliot Morris to the ball there and just shepherding it out of play. Callum Lee's now taking the throw in inside to Joe Denman, who plays it to Rick Smith, looking for a pass long. Plays it long. That's Steve Milne that's going to chase onto it. Jack Volks gets the clearance away.
Late flag from the linesman there. It's the way they do things now, isn't it? They let it go. Is that just in the Premier League with VAR?
They possibly.
He let it go then. Where did he run into?
Possibly is a trend in the Premier League to do it. I'm not sure whether the trend would follow at this level, but certainly it was a clearance just in the nick of time from Jack Volks anyway. As the free kick taken by Sean Newbrook, pumped forward. Jack Tinning gets the header for Rylands.
Joe Postal getting stuck in there.
It gets the clearance away, but there's a foul that's been called. So Rylands are going to win a free kick there, which obviously it looks like Joe Denman or Graham McCall are going to take. What they're going to try and do by the looks of things, the looks of the way that the team are setting up, looks like they're going to try and launch this forward and set up an attack off one of the forwards. Yeah, Graham McCall stepping up to take this. Plays it wide to Smith. Smith's now knocks it back to him. Into Denman. And Denman forward. And there's a whistle gone. Obviously up here without...
Shildon putting some pressure on the defenders. They're not giving them a minute. The referee's blown up both times.
But I think in these instances, Wolf, that's what you have to do. You have to be, first to be seen to be first to the ball, and I think that's what Shildon appear to be trying to do. Rylands are trying to start and apply pressure, and Shildon are trying to stop them from doing that. And it's excellent defending by the home side. Joe Denman now lining up to take the free kick for Rylands. He'll look inside. Callum Lees is there. Rick Smith's available to him. And there's a long ball available. Knocks it long now towards Stephen Milne. Moore gets in the way of it, but Milne manages to win it back.
Tried to let it run out and it hit him on the back.
Played it there for Reddy. Ball seen back to Jack Tinning, who plays it back to Denman. Inside, and Charlie Doyle, I should say, plays that back. And Rylands set up from the back again. Now Elliot Morris with the ball. And Rylands really today will be looking to get the ball as much as they can to Elliot Morris.
I was just going to say the Rylands have got a lot of the ball early on, haven't they? So Shildon haven't really had it yet.
Good head from Smith.
Who's the young lad at number 11, Dave? He looks like he might have to take the day off school on Monday.
He does look like he's just approaching GCSE level, doesn't he? He's actually a full-time engineer, I can promise you. His name's Elliot Morris. He scored. We signed him from a local team in Wigan. He banged about 40-50 goals in their league by the time we signed him. Elliot has immensely quick feet, real eye for goal.
Ball over the top for Kurt Matthews to run under, but the referee says he fouled the defender.
Gerard now with the ball for Rylands, looking for options. Lays it off to Lees, in to Smith. Smith now just wants to drive forward with that, but worried about the closing down actions.
Just want to comment that Shea Little's missing today, suspended, yellow card at Stockton in the previous round.
And the pressure from Rylands there, forcing a mistake out of, I think it was Aidan Haywood was the right back.
It was Aidan Haywood, yeah.
It was Conor Reddy that forced the mistake out of Aidan Haywood, and he's ended up forcing himself a corner.
They changed the mind.
The referee appears to be pulling them back.
I think the linesman's had his flag up, it's offside.
I think there's possibly been an offside flag there.
Oh, what's he doing? Taking a throw in? Ball must have gone out for a throw in.
Again, stalemate tackling in the middle of the park there from both sides. Dean Thexton looks a presence up front. Wilf.
Yeah, he's a big strong lad, is Dean, and he got goal of the round in the last round at Stockton. I'm telling lies, it was the previous round at Hallam when he got goal of the round, but he scored a better goal at Stockton. I don't think they've done that goal of the round yet. He might win that as well.
Here comes Tinning for Rylands, sweeps it across to Rick Smith. Smith plays it for Lees, but gets it just behind him. Lees is going to try and turn on that.
Kurt Matthews getting stuck in there. Michael Sweet chasing it. Good header from Bobby Moore.
Seems very terrier-esque, Kurt Matthews, in terms of winning ball and when he's not got the ball.
Yeah, he puts a lot of work into this, Kurt. Don't want to put him down. He's Thexton on the wing of the ball. Michael Sweet's in the middle thing. And Matty Robson
plays it for Robson, and it's cut out by Lees. And they're going to let that go. It's going to be a throw into Shildon. If Robson could have taken it quickly, there was an option for him there. Good turn, and Kurt Matthews almost fashioned himself something there as Lees gets it away, and Charlie Doyle is able to just chip that out of play as we start again with the throw in. Robson with it.
Ooh,
Thexton has got the ball now just on the side of the box, lays it off for Trotter.
Aidan Haywood, because I thought he was lying the shovel.
A good cross in.
Oh, penalty referee! Yes,
the referee has given a penalty. It was Joe Denman on Joe Postal. As the ball came back in, Joe Denman went in with the tackle, and Joe Postal went down under the weight of the challenge.
So Thexton taking the penalty.
There's going to be a penalty now as Dean Thexton goes up against Graham McCall.
Here we go, Dean Thexton to take it.
Saved by McCall, it's out for a corner.
Good save by the goalkeeper.
You know, he has that in his locker, Wolf.
Yeah.
He does that a lot. He saves penalties for fun. I remember him telling me we went to a penalty shootout at Whitby in the previous FA Cup round. I remember him telling me he'd never lost a penalty shootout.
Yeah? Well, he could go to a penalty shootout today, right?
He could well do. And I may have jinxed that, so we'll edit that if it comes to it. But no, he's a very good saver of a pen. Is Graham.
Matty Robson with a corner, not the best.
It's cleared away. It looks like. I thought that came off a Rylands defender, to be honest, but I'm not down there, so.
I've got the stand post in the way of me there, Devon. I'll take your word for it.
The officials adjudged that it came from a Shildon head as Rylands start again now, as McCall knocks it out to Tinning. Attempt from Tinning to find Steve Milne, doesn't quite get it through to him now, and Shildon are coming forward with it again. Great header from Callum Lees, superb header from Callum Lees. Aidan Haywood cleaning up at the back for Shildon. And now Sean Newbrook is going to drive this ball forward into the deep into the Rylands half.
Kurt Matthews up for it.
Kurt Matthews beat Rick Smith in the air.
No.
but the ball rolls into the arms of Graham McCall. McCall's just slowing it down now, plays a pass to Warren Gerrard, who knocks it back to Joe Denman.
Big chance for Shildon there. The penalty. I've never ever seen Dane Texton miss a penalty before, but first time for everything there.
Well,
it was a good save, mind. He put it right in the corner and he got his hand to it.
He's just an excellent penalty defender. He practices them religiously. It's something he puts a lot of time into. Gerrard puts Milne through, and Milne
is just wide,
and it agonises wide of the net. That's unfortunate for Rylands, fortunate for Shildon.
Don't know where the Shildon defence was there.
It was a ball over the top, very clever ball over the top by Warren Gerrard. Spotted Stephen Milne on the run. Who I think you would have come up against Stephen Milne last year when he was playing for Lower Breckwolf.
Yes, we went to Lower Breck last year in the Vase. I think it was last year, the year before last year. They beat us down there, beat us 2-1, knocked us out.
Connor Reddy back to Gerrard, who knocks it forward for Morris. But it's cleaned up by Matty Robson. The long ball from Newbrook has taken a deflection out. We're just going to see a Shildon throw in.
Just as well you can't see me there crawling along the stand looking for me team shape that's just blown away in a gust of wind.
I'd covered it, Wilf. I'd covered it. Ball chipped forward now. Thexton again in the thick of things. He's got Sweet in the middle. It's a good tackle in the end, and it's going to force a corner for Shildon.
Furthest player away from the ball going over to take it.
I was just thinking that, but he's obviously somewhat of a dead ball specialist.
He is left back to the outside right position.
Come on, Shildon!
Better than last time, Matty. Come on. Am I supposed to be unbiased here, Dave? I think we can try, but nobody will criticise you as Postal takes the ball on the right. Little bit of skill trying to get himself in. Robson again takes it wide and hits a shot, but it's blocked as Rylands come away with it now, and here comes Scarisbrick on the run. Scarisbrick's a player for the away side. He's got immensely quick feet. Here comes the throw in for Rylands now. Jack Tinning just inside his own half. Really got anybody showing for him yet, has he? He's played it for Charlie Doyle, who's knocked it back. Tinning's made himself a little bit of space. But at the moment the space is not there because Shildon are not allowing it, Wolf. As Charlie Doyle now plays it for Gerrard. Gerrard tries to play in Milne again, not quite finding the feet of the striker.
Touch off Dane
and here comes
Texton
Postal.
Michael Sweet on the ball, right. Good cross required, Michael. Rolled under the keeper.
Taken by Podge again as he rolls it out to Andy Scarisbrick. Scarisbrick again trying to look for the killer ball into the forward line, but it's cleared away by Robson. Matty Robson's having a very good game for the home side, Wolf, today, I have to say.
Yeah, but vastly experienced, Matty. I would like to say how old he is, but I might do him an injustice, but he's well into his 30s.
36 was according to my information.
Yeah.
I have him and Daniel Moore both at 36.
Yeah, they both put the average age up, eh? Had a good career, as Matty. A lot of years at Hartlepool and a lot of years at Carlisle. Before he settled here, he's been here a few years now.
From Charlie Doyle, and now Milne drives into the box looking for a little flick. Morris there. He was just he was taken away from it. I think it was Kurt Matthews. I'm just trying to make out who that was. I think it was
Jack Volk's got the tackle.
Was it Jack Volks?
Jack Volks, yeah.
Just flick that out for a corner, so Rylands will start again now. And again, as you were saying a minute ago. Left back
Yep,
goes to the outside right position. As Jack Tinning obviously will look for an in-swinger at this point.
Here we go. Near post.
Cleared away.
Another corner.
He's going to have to do a little bit more with that to get past these central defenders of Shildon, who are very good in the air. Gerard makes a late run into the box.
Yeah, Dean Thexton doing a good bit of covering there.
It was, yeah. It's a better cross. It's deep. It's Denman that gets the head to it. And it's just going to head towards the out of play. Matty Robson just shepherds that out. Approximately 16 minutes into the game, Sean Newbrook is going to get us restarted with a goal kick. And I think it's been very, very even so far.
It's been pretty even, yeah.
Callum Lees gets the head, knocks it into our stand as it goes. Matty Robson now going to restart things quickly with the new ball. Good throw towards Dean Thexton. Challenged by Rick Smith, but gets away from him. Back to Robson.
Kurt Matthews.
Elliot Morris just
Jack Vokes to clean up
tipping it out of play towards Milne. Manages to find him. There's a suspicion
strong play off the centre forward there.
Well, there was an accusation from Volks that he was backing in, but he managed to just sort of stand his ground against the bigger, stronger Volks. Eventually, the tackle went in by Volks, and it's out for a corner to Rylands. But again, so far, Wilf, it seems to be that one side attacks very well and the other side defends very well, and then vice versa.
It's a good game of football there, isn't it?
Starting out as a very good game of football. Connor Reddy now with the corner for Rylands. Drives it across that box. Rick Smith was heading for it, and he's headed it off the head of one of the Shildon defenders. I didn't quite catch who it was.
It was Bobby Miller, and the referee's pointed for a goal kick.
The referee's pointed for a goal kick. You have to get used to playing the whistle at this level, though, Wilf, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, they all went and crowded the referee at that point, but you've got to play the whistle. Goal kick taken. Kurt Matthews has gone up for it. Rick Smith wins it. And Charlie Doyle just nicks it away from post hill. And now Tinning plays it forward, but again, Moore clears that superbly away. Callum Lees into Gerard.
Surprised he's playing today, Bobby Miller. He came up injured last week. He's made a rapid recovery. Down the line, Matty Robson.
I think when you get to his age, though, you just want to play every minute you can, don't you? You're a long time retired, as they say.
You're right. When you get to his age, the injuries take a bit longer to heal up, don't they? When you get to my age, they don't heal up. Matty Robson with a throw. Dean Thexton.
The throw towards
David
Thexton.
Palmer and Aidan Hayward.
Switched them all the way to the right hand side, and now Hayward trying to make something of it, but it was a good tackle from Tinning. Doyle plays it forward to Milne. Milne's claiming that there was an in the back there, but I think he just bounced off him, to be honest. It's
he's a big lad.
Here comes more. Kurt Matthews
Dean
impressed me
Thexton
so far today.
And he's in.
Thexton gets past Smith.
He's a judge into a foul.
Well,
I think he maybe did. Being honest, Dave, I think he gave him a shove, didn't he?
I think it looked like he used his arms to get past Rick Smith at that point. But I think, as I was just about to say then, I think Kurt Matthews has impressed me so far with his start. He looks very, very lively.
Yeah.
As I say, terrier-esque without the ball, but very creative with it. I think obviously you were saying missing Che Liddle today. I think that's where the creative outlet obviously will come from, isn't it? From
Che is our most creative player, and he's not here today. So.
Goal kick taken ahead of Milne. Reddy wins it. Now Tinning. Tinning against Hayward. Hayward manages to get the clearance out. and now Dean Thexton is going to try and come away with it for Shildon.
All over the top, and Davy Palmer's out of play.
He's just miskicked that, unfortunately. I think you could see the look of recognition on his face as it rolled off his foot. Terrible when that happens, though, isn't it? When you know you've done one.
How are you doing in the league this season, Dave? You're up there, aren't you?
Well, up until we were curtailed, yes, we were doing very nicely. We were unbeaten. We were second place.
You've got no chance of going up. They've rearranging the leagues above, haven't they? So
if the restructure happens, the club put a statement out earlier this week that if the restructure happens, we've been invited to apply for a place in the new structure of the Northern Premier League. So we will be applying for that.
I believe we have as well, but it's only rumours at the minute, I think.
Well, I think until the applications have been considered, I don't think anybody can sort of say that it's a definite thing. So, great chase back from Elliot Morris there, by the way, just to rival Matty Robson for that ball.
Ben Trotter,
but
to the manager Bobby Moore.
I don't think that they can. I don't think any team anywhere can really say, you know, they're preparing for life in one division or another at the moment. And I think that makes it a little difficult because it impacts on your player recruitment, doesn't it?
So if you get promoted, would you go in the same league as Shildon if we get promoted, or is that a different one?
I think we'd possibly be in a different division of the same league.
Yeah.
So I think whereas Shildon would be in the northern section of that league, I think Warrington Rylands would probably sit in the southeastern or the southwestern section, possibly the southwestern section of it, because we're the southerly part of the north, if you like, which would put Warrington into the mix with teams in and around sort of, you know, the Midlands area, in terms of Kids Grove, Athletic, and people like that. But I don't know. You know, it would depend on how the leagues were divided, and it could very well be that we could end up in the same division. Certainly, we could end up playing in League Cups, and we could see more of each other from that perspective. Good tackle from Rick Smith there, bringing the ball out. Now feeds Elliot Morris on the right hand side. Morris is going to try and make something happen here. Plays the ball down the right for Milne. Milne's got Volks for company. Still trying to do something, but Volks is tight on him. Gets his crossover.
Oh, that's not a bad effort.
And it was a good effort from Scarisbrick with his head, but it was just glanced too far. Conor Reddy's mopped up the problem and played it back to Jack Tinning now. Jack Tinning giving it to Joe Denman. Was still in the attack. Joe's pass, a little bit wayward.
He's a big lad, Dave. You can just look at him and say that's a centre half, can't you?
If you could build a centre half from the ground up, he'd look like Joe Denman.
If he walked on the pitch, I couldn't see his number, I'd say that lad's a centre half.
He could wear number 9 and still you'd know. I think he's about 6'4", 6'5", something like that. He's a big fella, Joe. He blocks a lot of sun. A contentious shout now for the throw-in. Matty Robson's going to take it for Shildon.
David Palmer back to Matty Robson. Give me back, Matty.
Shouting for it back again, but a good turn from Robson. He plays it towards Thexton, headed out by Smith. Gerard with the flick on.
Well in, Ben Trotter.
Scarisbrick just trying to get into that area there. And it falls back into the arms of McCall.
Forward touch from Dan Thexton there.
Thexton's making himself a really good focal point for players like Matthews and Sweet to run off him, isn't he? Is that part of his normal?
Yeah, he's always the main man up front. Strong lad, holds it up well.
Does he do that job when Billy Grulick's on the field? Because obviously Billy Grulick is the top goal scorer for the club.
Yeah, we had 4 top strikers, and they were rotating them, and obviously they weren't getting a run in the team, and they weren't all firing properly. But we lost the striker, and Billy got injured, so we only had the 2, and then I think Michael had a short injury, and Dean was playing up front on his own. He was our only fit striker, and he really made a name for himself. Scored a lot of goals, got him super fit. It's winning the team, does it?
Smith gets ahead of Thexton on that occasion. And now Reddy trying to block out the clearance. Doyle to Tinning, I should say. Ball falls back into the hands of the Shildon goalkeeper, Sean Newbrook. Rylands are just looking to try and get the number 8 Andy Scarisbrick on the ball if they can a little bit here.
I'm going to regret saying this there, but is it too early to say this has got 0-0 written all over it?
If it does, it's possibly that penalty shootout we were talking about, Wilf. Rick Smith winning the header. Palmer with the ball in.
Kurt
Matthews with a cross. Good punch away from McCall, but Sweet's got the ball in front of goal. As Dean Thexton missed from there. It almost looked from there, Wilf, like Sweet should have had a go himself.
He maybe should,
I think he looked like he had a lot of space there.
Dean was in a good position there,
and I think by the time that he'd played the ball across to Thexton, McCall had got across to make the block.
Yeah, he's a golfer, he's Dean, and he used his wedge there.
He wouldn't thank you for saying that. McCall plays it out to Denman, and Reddy now. Chip in from Denman, looking for Doyle, not quite, looking for Scarisbrick, I should say, not quite finding him. Callum Lees is going to have to go and get that against Matthews.
On the ball again.
Good defending from Callum Lees. Came through the Everton system, Callum Lees.
Yeah, he looks a good player.
Good, capable. He came to us as a centre half and still plays centre half, but he's a very capable. We found out that he's a very capable right back as well. Played across by Palmer. This is Moore switching the play well to Robson. That's a lovely pass. Elliot Morris defending well against Matty Robson there, and assisting is Callum Lees. He's won the throw-in. Great defending from Elliot Morris, and good from a Rylands perspective. Good to see Elliot getting up there and challenging with his head. And Elliot's, he's a good, strong player. Throw from Lees is headed back by Trotter, headed back again by Lees, and the referee adjudges a foul. We're going to have a free kick to Warrington Rylands, just outside the penalty box.
I don't think there's any contact at all there. I think he's just given the free kick because I think he intended to do it, didn't he?
I think he saw it coming together.
Yeah, he's done it for intention.
I don't know that there was too much intention about the coming together, and I think sometimes that's lost in the game, in the modern game, isn't it? McCall now with the free kick, takes it long, looking for Morris, but it's cut out. Now Matthews in a tight spot, plays it back to Robson, but it's blocked by Morris, and that goes sailing out for a goal kick. Again, I think this is going to come down to a piece of creativity at some point, because the two sides appear to be just cancelling each other out consistently well.
It's a very tight game, isn't it?
Goal kick taken. Lees wins the ball against Matthews. Great header from Callum Lees. I was about to clap then. Robson now with the throw-in. Hits Matthews with it. Robson. Line ball. Headed out by Lees. Elliot Morris now, and Gerard picks that up lovely.
Put out by Jack
Couldn't quite find Stephen Milne. And now Moore plays to Volks.
Matty Robson. Dean Thexton looking for a foul there, but the referee hasn't agreed with him.
Again, they appear to be Thexton and Smith appear to be coming together quite commonly at the moment, and it just you never know unless you're out there how that's being generated, where from and which side. So I wouldn't like to comment, but I'll be honest with you, Wolf. That to me looked like a shoulder charge.
Yeah.
Now I don't think there's anything wrong with the shoulder charge, even in this modern day.
In this modern day, yeah, it was good old shoulder charge with me and you, lads. There was all right, wasn't it?
But to me, I'm not complaining. My team gets the free kick, but I do think that the shoulder charge is a lost art now. Conor Reddy now with the free kick for Rylands.
Chance to put it in the area.
plays it to the left-hand side of the box. Denman plays it in. Tinning flicks it forward toward goal. It looks like it's come off a Shildon defender, but the referee is judging that it's gone for a goal kick. Nobody's arguing that point, so
No, one of the
one
one of the bad points about our stand there is there's 4 big pillars in front, and everything seems to happen behind a pillar.
It's always the way, Wilf. Always the way.
Somebody watching on YouTube from Warrington today, Dave, do you know?
We will have quite a big contingent watching from YouTube today. We get commonly in this era of behind closed doors games, we're commonly getting messages on Twitter and saying, "Can we watch this week? Can we come and watch? Are you allowed crowds?" So I would imagine that there is a fairly large contingent watching on YouTube today.
In the friendlies we've had leading up to this, we've had fans on stepladders behind the goal, and there's only a handful today, so that they're obviously all at home watching on the telly.
We've been doing some work on our ground, and we were playing a friendly last week, and a chap wanted to come in and watch, and he was politely told, unfortunately, it's a behind closed doors games, you can't. So he went and parked his car where the work's being done and the fence has been ripped down. Just parked his car and watched the game from there. Robson now flicks it on towards Thexton. Tackle from Gerard, just puts him off, and a good tackle from Elliot Morris, puts it out for a throw. Robson's going to look to spin this in towards Matthews, who's making some darting runs there. It's Thexton. It's cleared away by Charlie Doyle.
Well defended.
Steamhill and back heels it into the path of Doyle, looking for Scarisbrook. Just can't quite find it.
And that's a good ball from the manager.
Superb ball taken well by Matthews. He's put it inside of Callum Lees, and Smith has come across and cleaned up the danger.
A lot of people seem to think I went over the line there, and from my view, you're probably right, but the linesman didn't think so.
I don't know. I mean, it's one of those. I don't think we can judge that from our vantage point, and I think it comes to a point you have to trust the officials. And you have to give them, if they're on the line and they're watching, you have to give them that. But a corner ball.
Palmer with a corner, and that ball's about 6 inches outside the quadrant.
Headed away by Reddy. Robson tried to find Palmer again, but he thought Palmer was a foot or two taller than he was.
Advantage of the linesman being down the other end of the field, isn't it? When they won't put it in the quadrant, there's nobody there to put them right, is there?
Exactly, yeah.
Nobody there to tell them. So
throw in taken by Lees, looking for the flick on, but Robson heads it forward, and now Smith will clear it away for Rylands.
The defenders just kicked that up towards Elm Road Club. Matty Robson with a throw.
Folks just came screaming for it, but I think Robson wants to go forward with this ball. He's certainly walking very far forward with it.
Don't know where the ball went out of, but he's moved quite a way up the line there, hasn't he?
Throwing taken to Thexton now.
Oh, an air shot from Michael Sweet.
Just couldn't quite get his feet to connect with what his brain wanted to do. Here comes Haywood. Oh, inside of the bar, and it's hit Michael Sweet. And he's gone.
A good save by the keeper.
Wide of the post. Rylands are saying that they should have had a free kick for offside there. But the referee is clearly indicating corner. But that was a really big chance. Great effort from Haywood. Struck the inside of the
dipped a lot. I thought was going well over. Just dipped at the last minute.
Yeah. Here comes the corner ball now. It's punched away by McCall, and the referee's going to blow for a free kick there. And Rylands is just going to pause this now whilst McCall is just worried about. I think he might have just caught a stud down the leg there by the looks of things.
Is he injured, Dave, or is he just breaking the play up, do you think? Very
possibly just breaking the play up, Will. I don't know a man alive that can hurt that man, to be honest. Free kick taken. Acrobatic stuff from Matthews towards Thexton, and Sweet managing to just chip that forward. Postle's in here on goal. He's got Sweet in the middle. He just took a touch too much there.
The keeper's down injured.
Here comes Hayward now. Plays it wide to Posthill. Looking for the cross. Gets his cross. Matthews, it's blocked by Lees.
Blocked by the defender.
And Robson turns inside of Elliot Morris and has a go. Has a go. Good save from McCall, but can't quite. It's fizzed out of his hands. He can't hold it. It's Gerrard that's cleared it away towards Mill, and Volks that gets it out for the throw-in. But again, that chance started, Wilf, on the opposite side there, and it just looked like Joe Posthill, if he'd have hit that first time,
that's right,
could have caused a bit more of a problem there. I just think he took too much of a touch.
Keeper's down injured again, Dave.
Possibly he wasn't just breaking the play, although we might have done him a disservice there. As you see, this is now a big opportunity for the players to just take a drinks break.
Got to say, it was cricketing weather when we came today, and I've dressed accordingly, and now I'm still there shivering like God knows what. It's a bit on the chilly side.
I had this at a friendly last week. I turned up with this jacket on that I'm wearing now, which viewers on YouTube can't see me, but I'm wearing a big manager's coat jacket. And it was beautiful sunshine when we kicked off, and I thought I should have worn this jacket. I shouldn't have bothered. Now I'm quite glad that I've got it on. Players taking advantage of the stoppage to just get some refreshments, as I said.
Been down a couple of times now. Your keeper, Dave. Have you got a substitute goalkeeper on the bench?
We do have a substitute goalkeeper on the bench. He's very experienced at league level. Actually, Mike Emery has played for Boston United, and some other. I can't remember some of the other clubs that he's played for. But Mike's 31, 32. Very, very experienced goalkeeper, and obsessed with clean sheets. Obsessed with them.
They all are, aren't they?
Yeah, every time he keeps a clean sheet, he goes on Twitter afterwards and puts the hashtag Cleano at the end of it.
We had an incident last season where a defender of ours tried to play the ball back after, they put the ball out when somebody's injured. He tried to play the ball back, the goalkeeper hit the crossbar and nearly went in. And I said, like, what would have happened in that scenario? And they said, would have had to let them score a goal.
Yeah.
And the goalkeeper said, no way, I'm not giving my clean sheet for anybody. No way would I let them score it. Just got a photographer at the minute, pinching out paperwork, trying to go on the telly, I think.
Non-league football at its best. Charlie Doyle now sprays it wide. Jack Tinning looking for options again. He's having a good game so far. Jack Tinning up there on the left. Plays it inside. Here comes Thexton again. Plays it for Sweet.
Michael Sweet down the line to Joe Posthill. Not the best of balls from Joe.
Cut out by Charlie Doyle. Charlie's got options now. Plays it for Conor Reddy, who's got a man behind him. Kurt Matthews chasing him heavily there. Knocks it back to Callum Lees, and inside between Lees and Gerrard. Lees has played that to Mill. Volks has got the challenge in. The referee blows for the free kick. 50-50 that one, Wilf?
Yeah, it's I think I got it right. It was a foul, I think. Another chance here for Warrington to put the ball in the area.
Conor Reddy just
all the big lads
over the free kick now, looking for the cross. Plays it to the far corner again, and it's headed back in by Smith. Foul adjudged by the referee. It's going to be a Shildon free kick. Just about 5 minutes to go till half time.
It's been a good half, Dave. Am I being biased by saying we've shared it? We've had the better chances.
I think that certainly the possession's been very equal, but I think that Shildon have created the more clear-cut chances. There's no doubt about that. The underside of the crossbar being struck, the penalty miss. I think Rylands can thank some last-ditch defending and some very good goalkeeping that's keeping them on terms so far in this game. But work to do for both managers at half-time. I think there'll be instructions coming out as the sun shines over the ground again.
That defender there, giving the ball boys some work to do.
Brings a whole new meaning to the phrase, "Can I have my ball back?" doesn't it? Look at that, that's fantastic. Your neighbours have just thrown that straight back without being asked.
Oh, that's the fans behind the goal there.
Oh, is it?
The fans behind the goal in Camden. In that back lane.
Throw in taken, Matthews tried to get at it. It was cleared away by Gerrard for the corner, taking no chances there.
Matty Robson with the corner again.
Lovely striker of a dead ball, Matty Robson. He'll be looking to get this one swung into the danger box and cause some problems there. Headed away by Reddy.
Commentator's curse, Dave. Didn't get past the first man.
Story of my life, Will. Story of my life. Throw in taken. Denman away.
Kurt Matthews. Back to goal. Is it Michael Sweet?
It is.
Cross in.
It's a lovely looking cross from Sweet, but it's headed away by Denman. Now it's
Kurt Matthews again brings it down low and it's a corner.
And again, it's a testament to what they think of Kurt Matthews in this first half, because as soon as that ball went anywhere near him, Rick Smith just came and cleaned that straight away.
He did.
Didn't take any chances with it. He just put that straight out of play.
Davy Palmer with the corner again, and the ball's a good foot outside the quadrant. I think the referee spotted it.
Oh, that's exactly what he's done. He's made him move it back in.
Yeah. Looks like a good cross.
Lovely corner that.
Keeper punches it from underneath the bar.
So the punch out just means another corner, which Palmer's going to take again. This time doesn't take any chances with the quadrant. Tips away again by
Sweet chasing it.
By McCall.
Gives it to Joe Post still. He's lost it.
He's carried out of the possession, and the ball is played forward by Scarisbrick towards Elliot Morris. A break on for Rylands now. Morris trying to drive inside the box, does so. Can he get a crossover? He cannot. Superb defending.
David Palmer.
Below that, wasn't it?
It's David Palmer.
David Palmer. Superb defending that tracked Elliot Morris all the way to the end there. And forced the corner out. Ready, takes the cross. Just beats Rick Smith, which is the intended target. Scarisbrick now chased him with Posto. Scarisbrick coming out with the ball, plays it back to Denman. And there's the linesman flags.
Yeah, the referee stood looking straight at it, and it took the linesman to flag. It was 50 yards away.
I'm not convinced about that one, to be honest. I mean, I'm 50 yards away, but again, I'm not convinced. I thought Scarisbrick reached the ball. Nevertheless, free kick taken. Postal takes it towards Thexton. Tinning and Denman try and clear up the danger. I think that was Michael Sweet that just got a touch on it there. So we're going to have a goal kick to Rylands.
How long ago?
We should just be about ready to blow up now, Wilf, I think. Goal kick taken by McCall. Lees is going up for that with Matthews. It was Matthews that got the touch on it, but it's gone out for a Rylands throw. Rylands benefit from that because they get position further down the pitch. Inman's going to take this throw now. He's going to look to take it long and cause some problem in the box. Heading from Rick Smith, it's cleared away. It's a straight chase now between the two number 7s. Doyle wins it, knocks it to Tinning. Referee's calling that handball, I think, on Elliot Morris.
Was that handball then?
It's at that point of his chest, Wilf, and again we're a long way up.
He's got a far better view than us.
He certainly does. He certainly does. You've got to give him that. It certainly looked like it may have struck the sort of the arm side of his chest, if you like. Free kick taken by Newbrook. Good header by Smith.
Kurt Matthews
trying to make something of it.
And there's the half
And the referee blows for half time. Well, that was a fun first half.
It was. I think we can be disappointed with no head there. Yeah, but
I think you can. I would probably agree with that, Wilf. I think you've had the more clear-cut chances. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But I think Rylands have stretched the Shildon defence on a few occasions, and I think there's more to come from both sides in the second half. That's a very promising start to this game. are back. Just getting ready for the second half now. Rylands are out. We're just waiting on Shildon to follow. As you can hear, one of the subs there, Kane Drummond, just leading a bit of a chant from the Warrington Rylands officials. It doesn't look like Warrington have made any changes so far at half time. Not that I expected them to. I don't think they'd be too worried.
No, there's nothing.
They're aware of the threats that they've faced in the first half. Here comes Shildon now. Volks has had a very good first half there, Wilf.
He has. He's the few friendlies we've had leading up to this game has been immense for Shildon, and he has had a good game today.
Is he the normal centre-back pairing
just recently, we've got Alex White out injured. His long-term injury, and since he's been injured, Jack Vokes and Bobby Moore has been the centre-half pairing. Yeah, I think we're kicking our favourite way this half, Dave. Hopefully.
I thought you said you didn't like it with the sun in your eyes, Wilf.
But it's not totally noticeable, but as the slope goes down that way.
I see.
The Bishop fans always take away out of us and say we kick down the bank, but it's hardly a bank, is it?
Got you. I know that for the next time we come then.
Just waiting for the officials now. All the players are out, standing there. No referee in line.
In the COVID era, they have to come out separately, though, don't they?
What do you think of the draw then, Dave? Just been on Twitter there, and North Ferriby are beating West Auckland 2-0.
To be honest, I'm just excited that if we were to win this game, I'm just excited that we'd be at home next because we've been away every round so far.
We've had a lot of away ties.
So I would be more, rather than sort of be looking at who we'd face, I'd be more excited in the fact that we get to play at Gorsey Lane, which we love our home ground. It's I think everybody does, but it's I think that would be the big thrill. Did you say it was North Ferriby were winning that at the moment?
I believe North Ferriby are winning 2-0, yeah.
2-0. Because North Ferriby obviously were recently in the Northern Premier League.
They were.
Went down, or...
Were they up as high as the conference, North Ferriby? I'm sure
they ended up going... I think they ended up going... They ended up stepping out of the league because of financial difficulties.
Yeah, they won the trophy, didn't they?
I think so. But when they stepped out of the league, interestingly, Warrington Town, who's Rylands' derby team, were penalised because they'd beaten North Ferriby twice, so they lost those points that they'd gained against them, and it pushed them out of the league championship position into the playoffs.
All set for the second half.
Shildon are going to get us underway. Dean Thexton has the ball at his feet. Referee just about to blow.
Another half like the first one would do for me.
Love to see another half like that, possibly with a bit more clear-cut chances from blue players. Would be preferable.
Don't know what the referee's faffing about, are they? What's he doing?
I don't know whether he thinks he's waiting for Sky TV, but we're away anyway.
Michael Sweet,
looking to
and it's a corner.
Gets a corner out of Rick Smith. Dave Palmer's going to go over and take this one.
Short one to Joe Postel, and they made a right mess of that. Bigger mess than I even thought. Throw into Rylands.
Strong defending. They pushed him into the tight space there. Callum Lee's now going to take the throw.
Early days, I know, but just want to say there's no extra time today, Dave.
There will be no extra time.
90
It will
minutes
be
like this,
straight
it's
to penalties on this occasion.
And your keeper's never lost a penalty shootout.
So he tells me. There's an old joke where I come from that he does come from St Helens. So.
Funnily enough, Dave, St Helens is about 2 miles down there. It's not the same one you're talking about.
It's not the same one, unfortunately. Would flick on. Steamill now trying to make something. Plays it for Morris. Morris inside to Scarisbrick.
Then free at the back.
Scarisbrick's had a go, and it's a good challenge. Was that Volks or was that who was that?
David Palmer.
David Palmer.
David Palmer got in there. Yeah.
Super block. First time Rylands have been able to set Scarisbrick free. The second half.
Two men free at the back post there. David just didn't get it to him.
We were talking about, we're just waiting for this to be taken. We were talking about a Rylands contingent in the first half. Wilf, Rylands have a fan watching in Canada today.
Yeah.
Good friend of mine, as Conor Reddy takes that corner, Rick Smith
heads
it just over. Good friend of mine who I used to work with, and we've talked about Rylands, and obviously he's become very interested in it. And now every week, when the league is in, every week he'll email me and he'll say, "How Rylands get on?" And so he's become a very big fan. So he's watching on YouTube today. So big shout out to Casey Billing watching in Rockland.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to give a little shout to Oliver Pierce. All right, Oliver. Can't be here today because there's no crowd. Good to the little lad. Aidan Harewood. David Palmer.
Flick forward. Tinning is equal to it. Gets it towards Milne. Milne tried to turn on it more, gets it in, but there was a definite contact there. Referee right to blow up for it. It's going to be a Shildon free kick.
Bobby Moore going to put it in the area. Cleared by the defender.
Cleared away by Rick Smith there. Palmer gets it forward again, but Denman is going to knock that long towards Stephen Milne. Milne takes it on his chest. Looks inside. Elliot Morris now trying to make something happen there. Good defending by Moore. Certainly plays in Thexton. And the late flag again, Wilford.
He was offside. He was a couple of yards off.
I thought he was offside. I agree, but it was a very late flag again, wasn't it?
They do that now, and I don't know why. They do it in the Premier League for VAR purposes, but he could just put his flag straight up. You could see he was running under it.
Yeah, but as we were saying in the first half, I mean, I know we've got YouTube today, but we haven't got VAR. Any event, it's going to be a free kick to Rylands, midway in their own half. McCall's going to take it. Long kick taken by McCall, just looking to put it in the area really. It's cleared away. Bit of tennis going forward as Moore plays it forward now for Sweet. Header by McCall to Denman. Chips it over.
David Palmer to Joe Postal. To Michael Sweet.
Good head on from Sweet there.
Kurt Matthews over the top.
Chips it forward to Thexton. That's a good ball, but Postal gets it on the right. Casual from Joe Denman. Matthews against Lees. That's been a good tussle today, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. You can see he's a good player, that fullback.
He has bags and bags of natural pace. He's strong in the tackle, and obviously it helps that he's tall.
Aidan Harewood. Is it the Joe Postal? It's a throw.
Tackle from Tinning. And a header out by Rick Smith. Referee's blown for a free kick there. Smith's gone down holding his back.
There was a big coming together there.
It was an awkward landing, I think so. I mean, he may have taken a nudge in the back as well, but it looked like a very awkward landing for Smith. But he's going to get up. He's a tough guy, Rick Smith, so he won't be too put off by that. Rick Smith, one of the newer members of this team, along with I would say Jack Tinning, but Jack Tinning has been with us for most of this season, signed just at the start of the season.
I think we haven't got any new players there. Every single player we've got were here last season. We went into this season with the same squad.
We just consolidated the squad.
Yeah.
And I think at this level, that's a very important thing to do when you've got players that you trust. You know, particularly because, you know, Bobby plays with these lads every week and sees what's going into the effort on the pitch as Denman heads it away for Rylands. The referee's called a foul there.
I think that was
from Dinning on Postal.
I don't know which way. Give it to
They're pushing and shoving, to be honest. I don't know that he's done that intentionally.
Both players had the feet up. Both players had high feet.
I mean, I think it's a foul, don't get me wrong, but I don't know that there's too much intention going on there, and I think surrounding the referee asking for the bookings are a little bit harsh. Again, non-league football at its best.
No crowd in there, we can hear all the morning going.
So Robson's going to take this free kick now. Again, he's just going to float this into the area by the looks of things.
Well, that's a good ball, Matty.
Headed away by Rick Smith. Palmer with the header in, but it's floated out of play.
Very tight game of football there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Two good teams.
Al Pacino once said it's a game of inches. I think that's what today is about, very much. Clearance by Denman, looking for Reddy, not quite finding him. Haywood now with the throw. Gerrard now coming away with it for the away side, looking for Milne, who flicks it onto Morris. Morris has just taken a tumble there and Ben Potter's challenge.
And that's what Ben Trotter does, and there's his usual yellow card, so that every game do.
Welcome to the book, Ben.
Takes one for the team every week, does Ben.
But it's important. You need midfielders like that. You know, we talked a lot in the first half about Kurt Matthews and Dean Texton and Michael Sweet and Joe Postal. Not much mention was made to Ben Trotter, but he is that player that sits deep and breaks up the play, and those players don't get noticed as much.
That's
it's
right.
the unseen work, isn't it? Just waiting for the treatment for Elliot Morris's face before we get on with this the free kick.
Can't get over how young that lad looks though. He's like he should be playing under 16, shouldn't he?
He is 22. He's just going to the side to get further treatment there, whilst they have a look at the injury to his face, and now Reddy is going to try and float this free kick into the danger area. Lovely chip, well claimed by the goalkeeper.
Looking like Warrington are making a change though. Activity on the bench. Michael Sweet.
Tackle by Gerrard. Superb tackle.
Yeah.
See, now I think he's won the ball there, Will.
I thought he won the ball there. Oh, he's given him a card as well. I thought it was a good hard challenge.
I think that's very unfair. I think Gerrard has won the ball. I think he's come away with the ball at his feet.
I think we'll have a look at that on the replay after the game. I thought it was a good challenge. You could hear the block, couldn't you?
Yeah, definitely. But these, again, as we said in the first half, sometimes these decisions go for you. Sometimes they go against you. You just got to pick yourself up and get on with it.
To be fair, he didn't give it straight away. He waited a while. He must have had a good think about it.
I think he saw the fall and possibly reacted to the fall more than the tackle itself.
Is this too far out for Matty Robson to have a shot at goal? It might be, I think.
You'd know better than me. There's a two-man wall in place just to try and deter him from that.
Another 10 foot in front of that.
Elliot Morris has been brought off, by the way. We are now seeing Paul Shanley brought into the fray. Which is a shame for Elliot Morris, I think he's had a good game.
Here we go, Matty Robson. Is he looking at the shot at goal? I think he is, you know. Here we go. Oh.
Good effort from Robson, but it just
Curled
flopped
it
wide, just came off the outside of his boot. It's going to be a goal kick to Warrington Rylands. So as I was saying, there's the change been made. Elliot Morris has come off, Paul Shanley has been brought on. Ready with a tackle. Definitely, no doubt about that one, winning the ball.
No.
Now Gerrard trying to just come away with this if he can. Plays it wide to Reddy, to Tinning. And Denman is going to try and pump this forward for Stephen Milne to chase. Volks has cleared it, but he's only cleared it as far as a throw in. It looks like another change being made by Rylands at the moment. Number 15, Sam Sheen, is warming up. And I think he will probably come on to replace Warren Gerrard. I would suggest either Gerrard or Scarisbrick, I would have thought. But I think Sheen is one of those players that you were saying about.
I don't know if you missed that, Dave, but I think Ed Morwood's done him there. The lad was just running past him, he wasn't passing, he always kicked the ball off him and got him booked. He put the ball down, took a step back, the landman ran across in front of him and he blasted the ball off him as he ran past. He's done it on purpose, he's got the lad booked. I suppose the thing is he shouldn't have run across in front of the ball. Well, just sticking up for our player there.
Free kick taken by Newbrook. Launched as far as Denman. Ready now. Plays it forward towards Milne. Milne is going to try and great control by Moore into Volks. Pushing the back there on Reddy, but he's managed to get it clear to Tinning. He's hits it forward. Only cleared as far as Gerrard, who plays it wide to Callum Lees now. Callum Lees plays it forward towards Andy Scarisbrick, inside to Charlie Doyle. That's a lovely pass.
Well shot with the right by.
Unfortunately, it's just rolled off his shin. Rolled off his shin for the goal kick there. As Warrington set down their substitution plans, and Sam Sheen settles back down again for a minute or two. Header by Tinning.
Right up there with Palmer. Hayden Harewood down the line.
Cleared away by Jack Tinning. Postel, good head. Free kick given to Warrington Rylands for the foul by Michael Sweet, is what I think the referee was adjudging.
Little bit of bad language coming from the touchline there. Apologies if you heard it.
Sometimes you can't avoid that again.
No.
Welcome to football at this level. Tinning now. Clever ball inside to Gerrard. Knocks it wide to Shanley, and Shanley plays it out to Lees. Rylands just trying to set themselves up, just trying to give themselves some options now. Lees has got the ball wide. He fed Shanley, but it was nicked away. Denman has picked up the loose ball as far as Doyle. Scarisbrick dummied that, let that roll through his legs, and Milne just didn't make the run, unfortunately.
It looked good, there was just nobody read what he was doing.
Down in communication.
Joe Postel.
Joe Postel just standing up there on Jack Tinning. Went down rather theatrically, but didn't get the free kick from the referee. And again, more expertly dealing with the ball and getting it away. But it's Gerrard goes down under the challenge there.
Referee stopped the game as a head injury by the look of it. Half an hour left, Dave. What you thinking? Are we going to get a goal, or is my early prediction going to come right?
How have you played the commentator's curse there, Wolf? I have to think that there's a goal in this game. The two sides look too potent for there not to be. But again, we're dealing with two very expert levels of defence.
Yeah.
As well. So
both defences have done really well.
It's a very knife-edge type situation. Warrington Rylands are getting ready to make that change now. Sam Sheen is getting ready to come onto the pitch. We'll see that come on after this corner is taken. Looks like Matty Robson is taking this corner.
taking it. Good one, Matty.
Swings it in.
Punch by the keeper.
It out as far as Paul Shanley on the right flank. That's Jack Tinning, but Jack's just knocked that out of play. That's going to be a throw in to Shildon. So I said that Sam Sheen was likely to come on for Warren Gerrard or for Andy Scarisbrick. He's come on for Callum Lees. Commentator's curse again at play.
Yeah.
It looks very much, I think what they've done there is they've dropped Sam into the midfield and they've moved Warren Gerrard back to right back.
Warren's coming on at the 15, Sam Sheen.
Warren's an excellent right back, played there quite a lot for us last year. Rick Smith there with the challenge, just putting that out for a throw.
Shildon obviously happy with the way things are going. There's no movement at all on the Shildon bench.
How is that communicated, Wolf? If there's changes that they want to make, because obviously Moore's on the pitch, so how does he communicate with his bench when he wants to make changes?
I think
do they make changes for him?
Whilst he's playing, he trusts all. The assistant manager, Mark Hudson, makes all the decisions.
Hayward challenged by Scarisbrick.
Beats his man here. He's still going.
Scarisbrick still on him. Good tackle by Scarisbrick.
Joe Post
still now.
Oh.
Smith gets a foot in, and the referee blows for a Rylands free kick.
Was that a handball there? Was it? I couldn't catch it.
Taken by McCall. Smith now with a bit of space. He's going to look to try and drive this forward if he can. Plays it for Milne. Milne gets the ball. And he's been taken down, and it looks very much like a penalty at this end again.
Oh, he's booked him for diving. Has he booked him for diving? He has.
He has booked him for diving, and I think Stephen Milne has already been booked.
Has he?
Which I think means that he's sending him off. I'm genuinely lost for words. That looked like a foul to me.
I thought it was a penalty, yeah. I thought it was a penalty.
He hasn't booked him. He's either not booked him now or he didn't book him earlier.
He definitely flashed a card there, didn't he?
He mustn't have booked him earlier. He must have flashed the card. I think he flashed the card at Conor Reddy earlier when we thought he was booking Stephen Milne. So it must have been that. So no. So he's.
I think for a referee there to accuse a player of cheating, they've got to be 100% certain, and that looked like a penalty to me.
That looked about as clear cut as they get, to be honest. But here come Rylands now with Scarisbrick in the middle of the park. Plays it wide for Gerrard. Gerrard now looking to see what he can do. Cuts inside. Charlie Doyle picks it up off him. Can't quite find Shanley and it goes out of play. Aidan Haywood, Matty Robson I should say, over on that side. He's going to get things back into play for Shildon for Dean Thexton. It's cleared away again.
Came from an offside position.
Yeah, I think Milne was offside when that ball was played.
I think he knew he was. He sort of turned and ran back half-heartedly.
You could see he hesitated when he first made a snap decision of whether to chase for that one. But as they continue to debate the validity of whether that was or wasn't a penalty, unfortunately, Wolf, the game goes on.
Yeah,
Again,
it's
like
another one.
As we said in the first half, you just have to accept these things.
We'll roll the camera back and have a look at that after the game there. But
the clearance from Denman. Here comes Moore now, player manager for Shildon. A little bit of space. Switches his feet, plays the ball forward as far as Denman. Ben Trotter just heads that out of play. When you mention Trotter and his regularity of yellow cards, Wolf, I've just seen a handball shout there just from the Shildon defence. But when you mentioned that in the first half, he must have very good game management to avoid himself being sent off.
Yeah,
because he
gets
I
so many
before the game. And he doesn't really get that many minutes.
Yeah, so many yellow cards. I don't know if he changes his game once he gets a yellow card, because he never gets a red one.
Yeah,
he never gets 2 yellows in a game.
Yeah. Clearance from Gerard there under a pretty heavy tackle from Thexton. Got that view.
Michael Sweet holding it up. Kurt Matthews up and under.
Smith with the header, puts that out of play.
Watch! Get us all to relax. Get off his back. I'm going to change now.
Denman goes down underneath that clearance. Looks like a bad one for Joe Denman there. As Conor Reddy plays it forward for Steve Milne. Milne trying to win it from Moore. He's at least won a throw in for Rylands. Joe Denman is now up and on his feet, Wolf, but that looked like his ankle buckled there.
Yeah, he walking very gingerly.
I mentioned no changes made yet from a Shildon perspective. Billy Grulich is menacingly warming up there on the touchline.
He is. He looks like is he taking his top off? Or is he?
I think he is. We are about to see Shildon's top goal scorer come into this game.
I fancy you're going a bit close. Sweet, I think so, I would say.
Well, it would have to be one of the two. I can't see it being Matthews from the front three. Although Matthews has been quiet this second half.
A good long throw that lad there.
Certainly was. Now Shanley's going to have a hopeful shot there. Cleared away by Haywood for a throw-in. Denman goes down again there. It looks like he's just got a touch of cramp. I don't think that's anything more serious than that.
It looked like cramp earlier.
Just in case, club captain Gary Kenny, I should say, got tripped up in my words there. Gary Kenny's warming up. It looks like Gary Kenny's coming on. I can see here. Gary is hurriedly putting his shin pads on. He looks like he's coming onto the pitch now. So I think Joe Denman will probably come off. And,
I'm just trying to see the electronic scoreboard there to see who's coming off for Shildon. But
it's Michael Sweet, I think.
He's just come over for a drink, Michael, I think.
I'm sure it said.
It says 16's coming on. I think the other one he hasn't got the number on the other one. It says nil. Bit of encouragement for Shildon from the fans outside the ground.
That's excellent. It means you can never fully have a game behind closed doors with the row of houses behind the ground like that. That's fantastic. Joe Denman has got kinesiology tape up his thigh. He's going to step off the pitch now.
He's had a good game, that lad, too.
He's a very good defender. He's an excellent defender, very capable guy. But the guy that's coming on in place of him is the club captain. I mentioned one of my idols, Brian Robson, earlier. He's very much in that mould, very much a Captain Marvel type character, Gary Kenny.
Substitution for Warrington Rylands coming off Joseph Denham, number 5, and being replaced by number 12, Gary Kenny.
Gary will be looking to add his considerable experience to this. He's in the middle of a charity incentive at the moment where he has to run 10k every day.
Yeah?
And he's 34. Paul Shanley now lays it wide to Conor Reddy. Inside again to Shanley. Playing it between the two of them as Reddy tries to get a crossing. Can't quite just get it where he needs to. Sheen heads it wide. And he's giving it to Michael Sweet there. Doyle is with him for company. Good tackle from Charlie Doyle as Gary Kenny gets a foot in as well. And now Shanley.
Then Trotter to Joe Postel.
Postel now. Inside to Palmer. Good tackle from Sheen.
That's how Billy could replace just a shot there, Joe Postel. Dean Thexton, Matty Robson, ball in. Oh, and Joe Postel's missed it at the back.
You'd want Joe Postel to just swing his foot at that, wouldn't you? Haywood now. Postel tried to give it back to him.
That's a good ball, Edmund Haywood.
And Haywood's trying to get it across.
Well saved by the keeper.
McCall gets down to it. It's like the urgency on the Billy Grulich thing has taken a back seat for now at the moment for Shildon.
He's still all kitted down there and ready to come on. He's just stood back.
He's kitted and they've got the board, but nobody's pushing that issue at the moment. Perhaps they're waiting for another ball out of play. And I can see that board, and they still haven't put the number number on of who they're taking off. Volks now trying to come forward with it, chips it forward. Sheen and Matthews go down in a challenge together as Gerard comes away with the ball now for Rylands. Plays it inside to Charlie Doyle. Jack Tinning, who's had an excellent game there. Conor Reddy now. Looking inside for Doyle. Can't quite find him, but again, I think Conor's had a very good game from a distribution perspective. Tinning plays it forward to Stephen Milne. Skillful defence from Rick Smith as he chips it over Post Hill. Now, two things at play there, Wolf. Number one, I think he's got the ball.
Yeah.
But number two, he has actually gone through his legs, which is illegal.
He did kick the ball, but he also went through with his foot up.
Yes, I think that negates the winning the ball thing. Unfortunately.
To be fair, right in front, the away dugout there, I think he's fortunate when they get a yellow because they were all in the referee's case there.
Conor Reddy now with the free kick. Throws that one forward. Newbrook is equal to it against the challenge of Kenny, and he plays it forward. Now they'll break.
And that's not the best of balls, Matty.
It's a rare poor pass from Matthew Robson today. I think he's had a very good game otherwise, and it looks like it is Kurt Matthews.
Kurt Matthews coming off, yeah.
So Kurt Matthews comes off to be replaced by
Coming on, number 16, we're welcome back after a long injury. Billy Smith. Number 7.
Getting with his new Shildon coloured hair. If I can get a word in for Dennis shouting on there.
That takes a certain degree of guts, that, Wilf, doesn't it?
It's well, there's one thing certain, Dave, I couldn't do that.
Free kick now given to Shildon. Aidan Haywood is going to take this.
Chance for Aidan Haywood to get it into the penalty area. Or is he going to play a short one to Kurt Matthews? He plays it down the wing to Michael Sweet.
Sweet plays it into Postill. Postill trying to break himself down. The right
Haywood,
there.
David Palmer.
Charlie Doyle watched him all the way. Palmer gets the
Another
ball in.
bad cross.
McCall goes down under a challenge as he punches that away. The referee is going to blow for a free kick because there was also a heavy challenge on Sam Sheen at the edge of the box.
Yes, it was a foul.
But McCall, unfortunately there, McCall has collided with Rick Smith as they've gone in for that challenge. You'll notice there, not all teams do this, but you will notice there that when Gary Kenny has come onto the pitch, he's now wearing the captain's armband.
Yeah.
Whenever he's not playing for whatever reason, they always, whoever it is,
They always give it when he comes on.
always gives it back to him.
Yeah.
Because he is the captain of this club, and not all clubs do that. It's not a common thing around.
Yeah, we do that actually.
But it's lovely to see.
Yeah, Ben Trotter lost his place till the season, and when he comes on as sub, they always give him the armband.
Yeah. It's lovely to watch that because it's a respect thing. Charlie Doyle knocking that forward. Cleared away well by Volks. As far as Kenny's head, looking for Reddy, but it's Palmer who just heads it out of play. Here's Jack Tinning now.
We're down to 12 minutes remaining, Dave.
We are. Business end of the game now, Will.
We're still where we started, isn't it? Yeah.
Ball forward from Tinning. It's cleared out by Bobby Moore. It feels surreal to say that. I mean, you must get used to it now, but it feels surreal for me to be saying that. As Kenny now plays that to Rick Smith, who's going to drive forward with this. Look for a pass outside of his boot. And that, unfortunately, is why he plays in defence, Will.
Yeah, he's having a good laugh about that. He thought it was funny.
They rib each other quite a lot about distribution from defence, so it's something they commonly discuss. Tough tackle there from Thexton on Tinning. He
throw down the line for Michael Sweet.
Shepherded out well by Kenny.
Yeah, he defended it well
for
there.
a goal kick. It's the experience of Gary Kenny there. McCall plays it. Tinning wins that on the left hand side into Doyle. Can he do anything with this? Plays it forward for Milne, but it's cut out again by Moore. Met by the head of Smith. Shanley flicks it on for Scarisbrick. Scarisbrick plays it inside, and it's just again
well done, Matty
a
Robson.
very, very good challenge by Matty Robson. Just gets a foot in there. So we've got 10 minutes left, Wilf.
Yeah.
Dare we mention penalties?
I don't know if my fingernails can take a penalty shootout.
Newbrook tries to turn, Scarisbrick does so. And gets his ball forward. Met by Kenny. Shanley going to try to do something with that now. Plays it in towards Milne.
Gets to this time in the cup tie, Dave. You just want a bit of brilliance, don't you, and not a bad mistake.
You want one of those moments of magic
You don't
rather
want-
than a moment of madness.
You don't want somebody to make a terrible mistake and not sleep the night because of it.
I think the phrase "not like this" comes repeatedly to mind. Doyle now plays it in. Milne receives it, and he's got a free kick. Got a free kick there in a very, very dangerous area. There's a few of them going to stand over this.
20 yards from goal.
It looks like Jack Tinning is the one that's getting the nod for this. And from the looks of how they're lining up, Wilf, it looks like he's going to cross this as well. I'd have been tempted to have a bang from there.
Yeah, he's looking to me like he's looking at that top left-hand corner.
Well, they're spreading out a bit more now. I think he probably is looking to shape to shoot.
Straight
Against
into
the wall. Postal away.
John Texton.
He's got
Get
Gerrard
in the
for
middle,
company. Warren Gerrard just trying to slow Thexton up a little bit and just get his fellow defenders back. Good tackle from Warren Gerrard.
He did well there, did Dean. He hasn't got a great lot of pace.
Do you find now, Wilf, with Grulich on the pitch, do you find now that Thexton will turn into the role of provider striker?
Maybe likely, yeah.
To put Grulich into positions now.
Yeah, he's been missing so long, but
Cross in from Haywood. Looks like Shanley's going to win that with his head. And now
ball.
Scarisbrick's going to come away with it. He was taken down there by Matty Robson, I think
he's
it
got
was.
a yellow card, Matty, and I don't think it was intentional.
No, I don't think that was intentional. I think he just caught him late, to be honest. You can see from the performance that Matty Robson's had today, he's made an honest challenge for the ball there. He's just missed it.
Another chance for Rylands to get the ball in the area.
7 minutes to go. Sam Sheen stands over this. Plays it in towards Kenny, but his distribution's a little bit off. It goes straight into the arms of Newbrook. His kick is poor. And that goes as far as Shanley, who plays in Milne. Milne is onside. Superb defended from Jack Volks again.
Yeah, good defending, Jack.
He stayed with Stevie Milne there all the way, and the twists and the turns that were made didn't fox him. Milne into ready, gets it back from him, gets the cross in. Oh, and a little bit of a fumble from Newbrook there.
Yeah, he shouted for it, and Palmer ducked his head at the last second.
Haywood wanted to just sort of play that ball a split second for earlier. If he had done it, perhaps Sheen wouldn't have blocked it as quickly. Takes the throw in into Moore. Moore trying to switch the play now. The header out by Shanley, but Robson's going to get another bite at this. And Shanley is the one that the referee judges. There's a foul been made there, and it's a free kick to Rylands. McCall now takes this free kick, puts it forward, looking for Steve Milne, can't find him. Is Shildon clear again? It's only as far as Gary Kenny. Met by Moore. Tinning now, trying to get control of that with his head, plays it forward for Reddy.
Palmer.
We are on the 5-minute mark as Palmer hits it forward. Rick Smith has got 2 for company. He plays it inside for McCall. McCall's probably going to go. I thought he was going to go wide for Gerrard then, but then he shaped to go long. Palmer now tussling there with Doyle. That's been an interesting battle all day, that, hasn't it?
It has. Danny Cragg's coming on.
From what I was reading on the team sheet earlier, that
Joe Postal coming off.
I was reading that Danny Craig is part of the coaching setup here.
He is.
Is that correct?
Yeah, he came as a player and He upgraded the court last year.
Excellent game from Postal, by the way. He's run his socks off
Won
today.
Is
that like for like? Right wing for right wing?
No, Danny's more central. He's won the FA Vase in his time, Danny, at Dunstan. When they beat West Auckland.
Dunstan, Paul Gascoigne's former
Yeah,
club.
that's... Well, he's from Dunstan. I don't think he played for them, but yeah, he's from Dunstan.
Kenny clears that away. Only as far as Moore. The header from Tinning keeps the ball away from Grulich. Milne keeps it in. And now Hayward is going to come away with it, or he's not. Well, that's
And he's going to go for the card for that.
He's going to pick a booking up there. Scarisbrick, just the feet of Scarisbrick a little bit too quick for him.
Three minutes of normal time left there.
Plus whatever the referee decides to add for
Just to
injuries.
remind people, there's no extra time. Straight to the dreaded penalty shootout.
Kind of ready now.
Chance for
Shaking.
Rylands to put it in the area.
Takes it into the box. Kenny was looking to get there.
Good header, Jack
Couldn't.
Wilkes.
Sam Sheen was about to let that go, and then he saw that it was going to a red head. Charlie Doyle has cleaned it up, giving it back to McCall. McCall's got that out of his feet and cleared it away. Kenny in midfield there has won it. And now it's Thexton wide to Sweet. Good defending by Jack Tinning. That looks like that's going to be a throw-in.
Aidan Hayward down injured there.
He went under in the challenge with Scarisbrick. He looked to have fallen quite heavily when he took that challenge.
Actually.
But I think both sides have made all three subs now. Hayward's limping, but he's made of tougher stuff than phoning it in with 2 or 3 minutes to go, isn't he?
He'll run it off.
Magic sponge, Wolf.
Aye. Bucket of cold water always worked when I was a young one there. Danny Croggs with a throw. Give it to Aidan Hayward, who could hardly walk a second ago.
Good header out from Gerard.
Ready Palmer.
As far as Palmer. Tinning's under pressure from Grulich now. And in the end he's bought the throw-in off Grulich.
Into the last minute.
Certainly are. We should be seeing the board come up telling us how many minutes of injury time any second now. Throw-in taken by Tinning, only as far as Trotter. Now Grulich to Thexton. And he's going to give it back to Billy Grulich. The tackle from Rick Smith. Just getting a foot in at a key moment there.
Has any goalkeeper had a save to make second half there? I can't think of one off the top of my
It's
head.
not been quite as action-packed as the first one was, has it? I think again, what we've seen is two defences cancelling each other out as well as the attacks. Robson now on the ball, looking to make something happen. It's Doyle for Rylands that wins the ball in his own area, playing it forward for Milne, can't quite find him. It's not forward again.
Has indicated 5 minutes extra time.
5 minutes?
5 minutes? Where have they got that from there? 5 minutes?
I don't remember seeing 5 minutes worth of injuries, Wolf, but do you know what? I'll take 5 minutes extra of a game any day. Call me a purist. Here comes Shildon now with the throw. Robson just trying to find his way into Thexton there, but Rylands' defence they're watching Thexton like hawks, obviously, as you would expect them to. Going to be a blue throw. Overhead kick from Shanley. Unorthodox, but it seemed to work. It was an in the back appeal there, but it went wide and the ball was pumped forward, and now it's cleared away. Jack Tinning is coming forward for Rylands. He's going to look inside, see what he's got. It's cut out by
unlucky.
That was Cragg, wasn't it?
It was Craggs, yeah.
Ball cleared forward towards Milne, but again, Shildon's defence watching him like hawks. Haywood managing to just get that away from the
big boot from Erdon.
Ever feet of Reddy. Now it's a race between Thexton and Gerard. Gerard gets there first, plays it away.
Matty
By the throw-in off Matty Robson.
Matty just had to play it down the line there and he got it all wrong.
So there's
unbelievable, isn't it?
There's a foul called against Stephen Milne there. We're just going to see a free kick for Shildon, taken by Sean Newbrook. Just
3 minutes of added on time left. Sean boots it into the middle.
Rick Smith gets that away. And now Haywood.
Haywood having a run down the line and a good cross. No, it's not.
It was a lovely cross under the pressure that Reddy was giving to him there. Now McCall is going to take this goal kick. Shanley can't make it.
Halfway line!
2 minutes of added time left.
As Gerard brings it back into play with the throw to Sheen, gets it back. Rylands just trying to force things in this last few minutes, just trying to make things happen if they can. Which end are they likely to do penalties at if they go to penalties?
The penalty shootouts we've had here before have always been to the Dean Street end.
Kenny heads that out for a corner, but he's taken what looks like an elbow in the back from what Gaz is indicating there. He's a very honest kid, is Gary Kenny.
Getting towards the last chance now. Crogsy with a corner.
Sweet it is that knocks it wide, and it's going to be a goal kick. That I think is probably going to be all she wrote with 30 seconds left. I think Rylands will probably play it forward, but I don't think there'll be time to build for anything right now.
Good header been Trotter.
Smith gets that away.
Dean Thexton, and it's all over.
Full-time whistle goes, and we are going to go to penalty shootout.
Horrible way to decide a tie, Dave, but somebody will be celebrating tonight.
It's a euphoric way to win, it's a heartbreaking way to lose.
Yeah, that's right.
There's no two ways about that.
Can I have a round of applause for all our team, please? They've been absolutely fantastic. So, before we get to penalty tonight, a very big thank you to all of us who have worked in the background.
they toss for where they take end penalties at which end?
I thought the toss was for who took the first one.
Did they throw a coin then? You've got the choice of either which end or who goes first.
I thought you had the choice. I thought you were able to nominate an end, and it was a toss for who got the first kick. This is. Do you have regular people who would step forward in moments like this? Or?
To be fair, it's that long since we've had a penalty shootout. Top me head, I'll say Billy will take one. Bobby Moore, Matty Robson, maybe Aidan Harewood, see how far wrong I am here, and Danny Craggs. There's my 5.
Okay. I tried to do this when we played Whitby, and I was going to say
you've had a couple this season, haven't you? Penalty shootouts.
I would say that Stephen Milne, I think Paul Shanley, I think Warren Gerrard and Andy Scarisbrick will both have a go, and possibly Charlie Doyle. Watch me get none of those 5 right. Well, they are going up to the other end, to the houses end. They would do that because that's where the pillars are.
I'll go a decent go. I haven't got one of that go.
We can grab it okay from there.
Come on, be together!
It's looking like Rylands are taking the first one.
Certainly is.
Sean's heading for the goal.
It's just a question of, I think Shanley is going to be the taker. Yeah, it is. It's Paul Shanley that's stepping up first.
Sure, I heard you mention earlier, Dave, that your goalkeeper's never lost a penalty shootout.
I don't think I said that, Wolf.
It's on video, I do. Here we go, the first penalty.
Shanley against Newbrook. Shanley scores.
First penalty on the back of the net.
Looks like, is this Craggs?
Danny Craggs stepping up.
But again, Craggs is from what I read, he's a dead ball specialist.
He is, yes.
And obviously a member of the coaching staff. It's good leadership skills for him to sort of show the rest of the lads.
Step up first.
Step up and have a go. He's going to hit this with his right. Craggs
Danny
versus
Craggs,
McCall.
here we go.
And it is 1-1.
Right in the corner.
Up steps Stephen Milne. I should point out at this stage, both of us 100% correct on our choice of penalty takers so far.
Here we go.
And it's Milne. Sends him the wrong way, smashes it in the corner.
That's how you take a penalty.
And now Billy Grulick is going to step up. You're also now 100% from 2.
Yeah.
We're not doing bad here, Will, for this commentary lark.
Billy Growledge Smith. Come on, Billy.
Come on, bud!
calm as you like, really.
Taking that nice and calmly, rolled it down the other side of the net into the
2-2.
into the back of the net there. As Warren Gerrard steps up.
No relation to Stephen Gerrard, this fella, there?
Nope, from a completely different part of the world. Stephen Gerrard's from Liverpool. This guy has a deep Lancastrian accent.
Oh, I tell you what, Dave, he looks worried. Spent a lot of time putting the ball down.
We're about to find out as he steps up.
I can see the fear in his eyes from here, though.
It's back to you, Wilf.
Dean Thexton, I didn't say Dean, did I? Missed one first half.
I feel heavily for Warren Gerrard there because he's as honest of a player as there is. That will be hurting him. Sexton looking to go one better than he could in the first half against McCall.
Will he put it in the same spot? Come on, Dean.
Straight down the middle.
Blasted it down the middle.
Up steps Rick Smith for the away side. Rick Smith must score this now to keep Rylands in the game.
Here we go.
And he does. Calmly taken from Smith, who's just rewards for him because he's had a very good game today, Rick Smith. And now the manager. The manager's going to step up and take the fifth penalty. Is it the fifth penalty?
That's the fourth
penalty. For
it's now 3-3, but Warrington's had to take one more.
Yep.
Come on, Punch, it's your game! Right, Bob.
Bobby Moore, come on, Bobby.
Great save. Fantastic save from McCall.
Yep, good save.
The man that they call Podge has performed some level of heroics again. Here comes Andy Scarry.
So we're all square again.
We are all square again.
Four penalties each.
Newbrook went the right way, but
I think he got a hand on it.
He did get a hand to it, yeah, but Scarisbrick managed to just curl it over his diving hand.
Michael Sweet to keep us in it. Has to score. Come on, Michael.
Time to shine, Graham.
Yep.
Good penalty. Good penalty from Michael Sweet there. Very good.
4-4 and we...
Connor Reddy stepping up now for Rylands.
We're now down to the lads who didn't want to take one.
We are now down to sudden death. Starting to wish I'd brought something a little stronger than tea with me, Wilf. Good penalty from Reddy.
Cool as you like.
Sent him the wrong way. Rolled it on the floor.
Aidan Harewood stepping up.
He must have run off his injury because if his right foot was still bothering him,
yeah, he wouldn't be taking a penalty, would he?
He'd be the back end of the sudden deathers, wouldn't he? I don't think he'd be this early.
Come on in.
And McCall saves it.
And that's it.
The Rylands players flood the pitch.
Closing it out.
Rylands have done this on penalties. It's a heroic penalty shootout win for the away side. Heartbreaking for Shildon.
Congratulations, mate.
I have enjoyed your company very much today, and
Congratulations.
I offer you commiserations and full respect. My full respect.
Thank you very much, man. Come on, Sarah. Best of luck to you in the next round, bro. I hope you go all the way.
Thank you. That's very kind.
Congratulations to Warrington Rylands. We wish you all the very best in the next round of the Vase FA Vase, and also the very best for the future and your league as well in the forthcoming season. Once again, thank you all so much for your attendance today and all the volunteers that also helped. We wish you all the very best for the next season. Anyway, welcome to Warrington Rylands. Thanks to Dave and also to Rob and to Michael for all their work on the TV stream. Can I wish you all a very safe journey home, a fantastic time, and we look forward to seeing you back on King Street. That's in the Bavarian season. Thank you so much. Once again,
Yeah, 6-5
have a round of applause for the winners today. Thank you so much. It was all about a King Street. A very good afternoon.